Good morning, Willow community, and welcome to our first ever virtual field day, and hopefully the last. I would much rather be out on the turf field having fun with all you guys today, but unfortunately, we're going to have some fun with our own families at home. So I encourage you to get your family members involved today, or any siblings that may not be attending Willow School. Let's get them involved. So a reminder, you'll have all morning to do these activities. So once I demonstrate them, you can practice or you can get right to it. There will be a tally sheet that you can find on your Google Classroom, or I'll have a link from the parent portal so your parents can get you to that link as well so that you can record your results from this morning. Also on that list will be the descriptions in detail of all the activities. So a copy of that went home in the Friday folder, so maybe you had a chance to look at it. I'm going to demonstrate each and every one of those activities in a little different order than what you've seen on that sheet, just because I'm set up in different stations, it'll be easier. So, without further ado, I'm going to demonstrate these activities. First of all, we're going to stack some cups. Pretty simple. So, I have some of these plastic cups that I will start stacking. Each cup you get into the stack is worth 1 point. So obviously I'm at 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. For every cup you get onto the stack, you receive 1 point, and you'll record that on your tally sheet. We're moving along. We have a water bottle flip. So we're trying to get away from these plastic water bottles, but one of my biggest pet peeves is my son leaving almost an empty Gatorade bottle instead of packing his own reusable water bottle. But in this case, I'm going to reuse it for our next challenge, which is a water bottle flip. You can use either one of these or something else that will not break. So you're going to take, there, beginner's luck. You're going to time yourself for 1 minute and see how many times you can get a water bottle to, all right, and tally up your score and record that on the sheet. So once again, you have 1 minute. If you're talented, maybe you want to do 2. I'm not that talented, as you can tell. The next activity we have, which requires some skill, is some stacking with paper tubes. Whether you have a toilet paper tube or a paper towel tube, which I asked to be saved, we're going to stack these as well. The rule is you can't fold it and put one inside the other, but you can bend it a little bit to make it stand on top of one another. So in this case, toilet paper is worth 5 points. Paper towel is worth 10 points because it's a little harder. So I'm going to start right there. Pretty simple. I've just earned 10 points. I'm going to take another paper towel tube and add that to the tower. Now that's 20 points. I've tried this before and was able to get one more on here. But that was before and this is now, so I only got 20 points. You can do this as many times as you want. As I remind you, you have all morning to complete these activities. So the last activity, which will lend itself to the end of the day, is you're going to flip a coin. You're going to get any coin, and you're going to flip it 10 times. So, case in point, I have a tails. So I'm going to flip it 9 more times, and on that tracking form, I'm going to put how many heads, how many tails. At the end of the day, if we have whatever we have more of, heads or tails, I'm going to flip a coin in a live Zoom meeting this afternoon, and if I hit what the majority is, I will dump the rest of the bucket of water on my head to kind of end our virtual field day. So that's phase 1 with 4 activities. I'm going to rearrange and I'm going to get set up for the next group of activities. Okay, for our next series of activities, we're going to need a little more room. I'm in my garage, because if I videotape outside, you can barely see me. Maybe that's a good thing. But if you can do these activities outside, it may be a better place for those. So the first one is flip your shoe. And this is another activity you're going to have 1 minute to be able to achieve your best score. So I've taken my shoe off, but I'm gonna just dangle it on my foot. To flip your shoe with plenty of space, okay, you wanna take your shoe and flip it. If it lands on its side, which it just did there, that's worth 1 point. So you'll have 1 minute to keep flipping it. It landed right side up, that's 2 points. So on the side, 1 point. Right side up is 2 points. And if it lands upside down, it's worth 0 points. So once again, you have 1 minute to achieve these numbers, and you're going to jot them down on your sheet. The next game I have set up here is skee ball. So you'll have a rolled up pair of socks and 3 different size baskets, buckets, cups, whatever it may be. So the biggest, which would be the easiest, is worth 1 point. The medium-sized pot here is worth 3, and the smallest is worth 5. This is another activity you're going to be able to complete in 1 minute. So time yourself. So it's going to be quick. You are going to take about 10 steps. I am about 10 steps away from your targets, and you are going to throw towards the target. Obviously, I got it into the nice big basket, 1 point. I'm going to go as quick as I can to see how many throws and keep track of all of my points and record those onto the sheet. Next thing is a beach towel flip. So you're going to get a nice big beach towel. All right. And you're going to lay it flat on the ground. You are going to stand on this beach towel, and you are going to flip it to the other side while still standing on it. So I've tried this a couple times, and it's relatively easy, but you cannot leave the towel. All right, you have 1 minute to accomplish that. If you do, you can give yourself 10 points on your score sheet. The next activity in this phase is a paper airplane toss. So I have made a paper airplane, not a very good one. It looks good, I don't think it flies well though. So once again, I'm going to take my 10 steps or so, 10 feet away from the target, and it's the black basket here. I'm going to throw this airplane. I'm going to get 10 throws. If I hit the basket, told you it was a bad airplane. If I hit the basket, it's 5 points. If I'm fortunate to get it in, it's worth 10 points. 0 for 2, I still have 8 throws. So you're going to practice this as many times as you want before you make it official. I'll try one more time. Nope. Okay, so hopefully you guys are doing better than I am. The next thing is keep it up with a balloon or a beach ball. So I have a balloon here, a nice green balloon. If you want to challenge yourself a little more, take this outside. The wind may make it, it move, may affect it. So you're going to keep this up for 1 minute. If you are able to keep it up for 1 minute, you have earned 10 points. If you don't have access to a balloon or a beach ball, or you can do this activity if you would like to anyway, is a balancing act. I should have left my beach towel down here. So I'm going to lay on my back, and I'm going to get another shoe, and I am going to keep this shoe balanced on my leg. So if you can do that for a minute, you've earned yourself 10 points. At first it seems easy, but then you might get a little wobbly. And if you want to use a big shoe to make it more difficult, that'd be fine. And okay, that finishes this phase, so stay there. Okay, now to one of the fun parts of our field day, and it's a lot of fun when we're outside, is the water games. So I have some water in this bucket. As I said before, if heads or tails, whoever prevails, I might have to dump the rest of this on my head. I'm hoping I don't have to. So I have a sponge, a medium-sized sponge, as you can see, full of water. So the object of this challenge is to put a sponge into a bucket of water. You're going to balance it on your head as you try to fill up a measuring cup. I have a measuring cup about 10 feet away. You can make it longer if you want. So I'm going to fill this up. I need to get 16 ounces of water from the bucket into that measuring cup, and in less than a minute, pardon me. If I succeed, I get 10 points. So here's some of the rules. I'm going to dip the sponge in the water, put it on my head. If the sponge should happen to fall off, I have to stop and do 10 jumping jacks before I resume to get it down to the measuring cup. So I will demonstrate the first. I don't think I'm going to fill all 16 ounces, but you'll get the point. So here it is, a dripping wet sponge. I am plopping that on my head. I'm going to walk over to the measuring cup, and I'm going to take this off, and I am going to wring out the sponge, run back, and do it again. I should have said earlier, please do this outside. The only reason why I'm in my garage is because you wouldn't be able to see me. Once again, maybe a positive, but you wouldn't be able to see me outside. So you're going to keep doing that. Obviously, a bigger sponge, more water in the measuring cup. You get wetter though. So the next water game it's a fun one as well. So I have my same bucket of water here. Okay, but I have a measuring cup and a red plastic cup here as well. I don't need the sponge for this activity, so I will remove it. He says confidently. So I'll remove that. Now, we're going to keep track to see how many half cups it takes to fill up this red cup. But the challenge is I'm going to hold it on top of my head. So I'm going to dip my measuring cup in. That's one. I did this yesterday. It's much more than two. I think three. More than three. Four. This is not good. Oh, I just spilled it on myself. Five. So you get the point. You're going to fill that up with as many half cups, whatever it takes. It takes you 8, 9, 10. You jot that number down on the sheet. And as you can see, I am wet from the water cup. So the last activity I'm going to ask you to do is fun. It's going to be a scavenger hunt. So there'll be items around your home that I'm going to ask you to find. And the words that you're going to find are field day. So the scavenger hunt, you're going to find something that begins with the letter F. The way we're going to keep track is if you have a unique item that nobody else has recorded, so if you use fish, frying pan, family member, most people may have that, but find something unique, you'll get a point for that. So you're going to spell out field day. So you're going to start something with F-I-E-L-D, next word D-A-Y. Keep track of those on the tally sheet, and I'll see if you have a unique answer. The most important thing today is have fun. I wish we were together, as I said earlier, but we're not. So involve your family members. If you're outside, maybe a big game of drip, drip, drop. I'm sure your parents would love to learn how to play drip, drip, drop. So once again, I wish you a happy virtual field day, and I look forward to seeing you this afternoon if we can get a full school Zoom together. Stay tuned for details on that. Okay, so I've demonstrated all of the activities that we're going to ask you to do this morning. And reminder, you have all morning to do them. The timed activities, practice as many times as you'd like. Record the answers, it'll submit to me, and we'll be able to tally all those results. However, I'd like to start our morning off with the national anthem. Just like every great activity or athletic event, we're going to start with the national anthem, so please rise. If you're wearing a hat, remove your hat. We're going to stand for a brief version of the national anthem, and then we'll get field day kicked off. So without, here we go. Excellent. So, Field Day, Virtual Field Day 2020 is officially underway. Have fun. Look forward to seeing you later.